I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the Boom Matte Sound Deadening Headliner fitting all 2007 and up JKs. Now there are a few different versions of this headliner. One is going to be for those of you with the 2007 to 2010 JK, and another for those of you with the 11 and up. And there's also a different version for those of you with the 2-door and the 4-door, of course. These are also available in 3 different colors, black, gray, and white. So you do have a couple of decisions to make when purchasing these, but make sure you get the proper fitment and the color that you like. We are going to discuss how these get installed in your Jeep, which is a very simple process, as well as a little bit about the construction and ultimately what these are designed to do. This sound deadening headliner is there for a couple of different reasons. One, the Jeep can be very noisy. Of course, we don't have any sort of headliner from the factory in your hardtop JK, so you can get a lot of noise, especially if you have a big knobby tire. So these will knock down a lot of that noise and make it a little bit easier to have a conversation on the inside of the Jeep. These are also going to help to insulate the hardtop. So if you have the Jeep parked in the sun and you have a black or even a dark body color hardtop on your Jeep, you know how hot it can get on the inside of your vehicle. Or to the contrary of that, in the wintertime, you can get a lot of cold bleeding through the top into the inside of the Jeep. Well, these will help with that. These add a thick layer of insulating foam, which helps to keep the outside temperature outside and the inside temperature inside. And finally, in my opinion, one of the big benefits of a headliner system like this is that it really makes the inside of your hardtop look a lot more finished. I personally don't know why Jeep leaves the inside of the hardtops white in the first place. I think that they should be a dark color or even black. However, they do. And having this in there makes it feel like it's a much more finished product, in my opinion. Even if these didn't have any of the sound deadening or do any of the insulating that they do, I personally would still like to run a set of headliners like this just because of the way that they look. Now, these are going to be right around the middle of the road as far as a headliner for your JK goes. There are certainly less expensive ones that are going to be thinner and probably not do as good of a job insulating, and there are also ones that are more expensive that, in my opinion, are better made than these. But these are going to be a nice middle of the road. These are made of a 1-inch thick foam material that again is designed to both insulate and cut down on some of the noise inside your Jeep. Now the foam that these are made out of is a fairly low density foam, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does contrast to some of the foam used by some other headliner manufacturers on the market. This is going to be a little bit of a softer, less dense foam. These also don't have any sort of finishing material on the top. The foam is designed so that it has a little bit of a texture, and it does look nice on the side that you actually see. However, these aren't wrapped in any sort of actual headliner material or carpeting like some of those other manufacturers on the market. These are, again, designed to fit specifically into your year range and your body style Jeep, so they do fit really well. As far as how they secure to the inside of your Jeep, the whole back of these is adhesive. You simply peel off this backing strip and the whole back is adhesive. So you're not going to have to worry about these falling down. However, you're also not going to be able to easily remove them if you got a new top or a new Jeep of the same year range. To get these removed, you're probably going to end up tearing up the foam material. I'll give these a strong 1 out of 3 wrenches for install. You don't need any tools and they literally just stick in place. However, in order to get them installed, you do have to completely remove the hardtop from your Jeep and invert it, which you will need at least one other person for, not only to remove the top, but to safely invert it without causing stress to the top, which can cause cracking. Once you have the top removed and inverted, you want to clean the entire inside of the top with an alcohol-based cleaner to make sure that the adhesive on the back of the headliner is going to do a nice job sticking. If you have a Jeep that has the ribs on the inside of the top, this does come with filler strips that you'll have to put down before installing the actual headliner pieces. Once you have the filler strips installed, if you need to use those, it's simply a matter of peeling off the white backing strip and sticking this down and making sure that you press it into place. That's really all there is to it. Again, the most difficult part about this install is removing the top and inverting it. After that, you won't need any specialty tools to get this done, just a good alcohol-based cleaner. And of course, you'll have to have an extra set of hands around it. I would probably give yourself around an hour or so to get this installed by the time you remove your top, clean it, install these, and put the top back on the Jeep. Like I said before, these are sort of middle of the road as far as a headliner kit goes for the Jeep. I think that there are certainly less expensive models that aren't going to be as thick, and they're not going to do as good of a job at sound deadening or of insulating from outside temperatures. However, there are also more expensive versions of these from other manufacturers that actually have a headliner board on the back of them, have a foam material, and then have a headliner material over the top. And in my opinion, those ones look a little bit better. I don't think that they necessarily insulate or cut down on sound any better. However, they do look better, and the construction just feels more substantial. However, for the price point of these, which again is really middle of the road, I think that these fit right in between those lower priced, less effective ones and the higher priced ones that are going to look a little bit better. So whether you're looking for a headliner kit for your hardtop because you want to cut down on sound from the exterior, you want to insulate the top against hot and cold temperatures outside the vehicle, or you just want to finish off the look of the inside of your Jeep, this is going to be a really nice option. Again, this is middle of the road as far as price goes. It's going to be very effective in insulating and cutting down on noise, as well as finishing off the look of your interior, but doesn't have quite the fit and finish polish of some of the more expensive versions of these headliners. So that's my review of the Boom Mat sound deadening headliner fitting all 2007 and up JKs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.